Hey there guys, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome here if it's your first time. In this video, it's not so much a full-on review, but it's more of a comparison with the Moondrop Aria 2 and the original Moondrop from circa 2021. We're going to talk about how they compare, if it's worth the upgrade, or if you don't have the original Aria, is the Aria 2 worth getting in 2024? Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So before I start talking about the Aria original, let's talk about the Aria 2, and there it is. And I got to tell you, these shells are absolutely gorgeous. They definitely are a step up aesthetically, in my opinion, from the original Aria. Probably what most people are concerned about is the paint finish, and that doesn't seem to be an issue so far with the Aria 2, although I can see some scratches, what appears to be some scratches on mine already, and they've only had fairly limited use. But so far, no chipping. But I will say that the Aria 2 cable is spectacular. It's very, very, very nice. Even the cable itself is probably worth half the price of the IEM. Not only is it nice and thick and high quality and handles well, but it's also modular. So you've got the choice between 3.5mm unbalanced and 4.4mm balanced terminations. So just from the cable alone, you're getting pretty good value. This implementation of the modular cable is perhaps not my favorite. It's a little bit finicky as you can see, I'm struggling with it right now. But overall, it is not that difficult, really. I'm just had a brain fart moment, but look. Fantastic cable, arguably improved build quality from the IEMs, hopefully a non-shipping paint job, although like I said, yeah, mine's already showing some signs of wear and scratches, although they haven't been used that much. And before I get into the sound comparison, let's just have a look at the Aria 2 cable compared to the original Aria cable. The original one was a fabric covered or coated braided cable, and it's all right, but I'm not a fan of this style of cable personally. It tangles quite easily, it's prone to tangling, and it handles decently well. I guess it was an okay cable, but just next to this one, although I'm not presenting it in the nicest way right now, but it's just, you got to take my word for it. Aria 2 cable, very nice. Oh, did I forget to mention that currently the MSRP, or the standard price, for the Moondrop Aria 2 seems to be $80. That's on the official Moondrop site. But right now, let's bring in the original Aria 2. Let's get into this comparison. Let's talk about how the Aria 2 sounds. And if you are an owner of the Aria original, the Aria 2, I would say it's not really an upgrade. It's more of a side grade than anything, and depending on what your preferences are, it might even be a slight downgrade, because personally I think the original Aria still sounds better. Sure, the Aria 2, oh by the way, here is the graph. So surely the Aria 2 does have a little bit better sub-bass extension, but at the same time it's also got that extra pinna gain, so those upper mid-range, which some people already found a little bit edgy on the original, well, now they're even more up front. So there is a little bit of shoutiness in the upper mid-range in the Aria 2. There's also some sibilance there, which displeases me very much. In terms of detail retrieval, despite the new updated driver in the Aria 2, I think they perform pretty similarly when it comes to detail retrieval. Now, in terms of soundstage, I think the original Aria might have just been a touch better. The Aria 2 here is all about giving people what they think they want, which is more bass, which nowadays translates to more sub bass, and more forward vocals, which nowadays translates to more presence regional, more pin gain, a bigger boost in that area. But for my experience, what that means is you get a mixture of heavy and light. It's like a salad with too much salad dressing, and it's a bit of a mouthful. It's a bit hard to swallow. Having said that, it sounds like I'm being really harsh about the Aria 2, but it's actually a good IEM. Like, if you are shopping for your first, second, or third sub $100 IEM, this is probably a pretty good option. I mean, you get that beautiful cable, modular cable. You're getting a pretty competent sound out of the Aria 2. I just don't think it's that special anymore. Like in 2021, when the original Aria came out, it was a bit of a game changer. It was like, I think Moondrop initiated the Chi-Fi price wars, if I'm being honest, because first they had the Starfield. I probably get this chronological order wrong, but you know, they had their $200 model, then they had the Starfield, which was just over 120 maybe, and then suddenly they dropped the Aria on us at just 89, and it was a bit of a wow moment because for some people, me included, I thought the Aria was slightly better than the Starfield. It was slightly better technically, it was cleaner, it didn't have as much of a boomy bass, it had more bass control. And then shortly thereafter they came out with the Chew, and the story goes on and on and on. So the Aria 2 comes along, it's got this forward vocals which everyone goes crazy about, forward mid-range, but it's basically just the upper mid-range that's so forward. Then you've got the sub-bass boost, which was a trending term for the last year or two. And look, for me it just doesn't mean that much. It doesn't work all that well. Don't get me wrong, I can enjoy these quite a lot. I mean, I would be quite happy to spend day after day with these as my daily driver if I didn't have 100 other IEMs to choose from. But just in the context of the current sub $100 market, we've got so many great IEMs. We've got several models from SimGot. We've got the EA500, we've got the EW200, we've got things like the Queen of Audio Vespa 2, which is a very nice, smooth and laid back and warm IEM. There's still several viable models from Tin Hi-Fi, they're still kicking along. And then we've got some new players as well, like Zigat with the Nuo, which is a pretty impressive IEM for its budget price. So this video might not have been as helpful as you were hoping. Like, I mean, I haven't really said, should you get it, should you not? I mean, if you've got the original, I don't think you should bother buying the Aria 2 unless you really hate the cable, or if your paint is chipping drastically or something like that. But if you've got other of those sub $100 gems that are out there, some of the ones I mentioned, some of the ones that I've forgotten to mention or I haven't even heard, then the Aria 2 is basically just an option. It's not something I would put in my top 3, or maybe even it might get in my top 5. It definitely would in terms of the cable, because like I keep saying, I really love the cable and the build is nice. But at the end of the day, for me, the Aria 2 is just another good IEM, and it's one that you should probably consider if you're shopping in that price range. And having said that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, PAFM audiophile style. I would love to hear your comments about these two, if you have both, or even if you have either one. Just let me know in the comments down below how you're feeling about the Aria in 2024. And if you are new here and you're not a subscriber, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. And until next time, I'll see you later.